And welcome back to Let's Play Resident Evil 4. Last time, we finished off Salazar, and his little slice of the game has come to a close. We have left the castle, and moved on to our next major set piece for the game, and the game's final act, Act 5. Let's get into it right now. Let's get into it right after we switch discs for the game. Fortunately, this time I actually have the discs at the ready. Yeah, the final act of Resident Evil 4 takes place on a second disc in the GameCube version. Only got about 880 megs of space on these mini discs, so, wasn't able to fit this game all in one singular condensed package. But hey, that's not bad. I like disc switches. It gives you a real feel of progression, a physical indicator of how far you come. It's like how the final disc of Final Fantasy VII is just mostly its final dungeon, and whatever side quests you have left to do. It takes a little bit for the game to load here.
Got some business to take care of. See you later.
Women. I hate to break it out to you, but Salazar's dead.
Yes, it seems that way.
Sadler, why don't you give up and let Ashley go home?
Perhaps you are disillusioned with overconfidence, just because you killed my small-time subordinate.
Sadler, you're small-time.
Oh. Writhe in my cage of torment, my friend.
Yeah, with Salazar gone, he can no longer be our radio buddy, but thankfully, Sadler is more than willing to take up that mantle, and, of course, such a hot and cold relationship that Liana and Ada have, but hey, she left us a boat, so, a little bit of generosity there. So I was considering showing this off later in the chapter, but I'm going to just demo it right now. There's a pretty fun trick you can do to skip a very large portion of the beginning of the island, so why don't we show this off real quick? I was practicing this earlier, so hopefully it doesn't take me too long to get it, but at this cliff right here, there's a very particular spot where you're standing where Leon is at an angle, but you will be able to grab the ledge, so we just want to sort of edge along here and hopefully find the spot where we can still grab the ledge, but Leon is not facing directly at the cliff, so give me a... Ooh, this might be it. Let me see here. Just back up a little bit. Nah, it's a little too far. Yeah, it's a very finicky trick, but it is pretty funny when you can pull it off, and if you do it very quickly, it saves quite a bit of time. Let me see here. I think I almost had it there. Let's just, once again, back up right here. I think this is the angle. Yes, right here. So if you grab right here, Leon will actually... Not quite. We'll give it one more try, and if I screw it up again, we'll just cut to when I actually successfully get it. So what I want is right about here, I think. Once again, very finicky trick, but it is pretty cool once you pull it off. Okay, I want to immediately... Oh, no, I got spit out again. Alright, I'll just cut into when I get the trick. Alright, here we go. That should do it. There we go. If you grab at the right spot, you will be able to go out of bounds. You don't actually need the Ditman glitch to pull this off. Now, to make sure I get this properly, we actually want to angle the camera downward a bit. I'm looking for a very particular spot here, right here. We want to walk through that little opening in the cave, and then we want to step to this spot right here. A QuickTime event will activate, and this will actually warp us way further in the map, skipping the main challenge for this first area. Now, funnily enough, I actually didn't know this trick before this morning, actually. I'm actually familiar with a much older version of this trick that actually does involve the Ditman glitch, so I'll remark on the spot where you can perform it when we get here, but yeah, that's a little bit of speed tech. If you can pull it off, within a few seconds, it saves a ton of time, and saves you a lot of danger. I considered showing that off at the end of the video, but you know what? We're right here. It's right at the start. Why don't I just take care of it right now? Now we can move on and begin the island proper. There isn't too much to hassle us to start things off, but that will change. very quickly. Sorry, got a bit of a belch there. Always embarrassing when that pops up when you're trying to talk. So apologies if I sound a little bit haggard while I'm recording this. It's currently 88 degrees Fahrenheit in my apartment. Not exactly the ideal recording environment, but it's the recording environment I have to deal with. Anyway, first thing to note over here is 2 boxes, and inside one of these boxes, we will find... well, there's some potatoes, but also an emerald. This is the new vendor trash item for Act 5, replacing spinels and velvet blues worth 3,000 pesetas a pop. Funnily enough, though, even though it is the dedicated vendor trash now, it's actually pretty uncommon outside of this chapter. We'll find a ton of them in Chapter 5-1, and then they become quite rare right after. Anyways, this is the spot I was talking about where you can do a similar airwalking trick with the Ditman glitch, so why don't we just activate that real quick and see if I can't get that going. There's a very particular spot you have to drop down where Leon will end up walking in the air, and I believe it's right here that you do it. It's either on this ledge or... this ledge down here. Let me see. I can't remember the exact spot, but you want to drop down somewhere around here, and it would put you into an airwalking state that could allow you to a similar trick to what I just did. I don't remember it offhand. I think I have an old video still on my channel demonstrating that glitch. We will just keep the Ditman speed for right now because it would cost me a grenade to cancel it, and we're going to get an opportunity to cancel the state coming up real quick. Hey, I know that voice anywhere. Well, Ashley is looking no worse for wear after that ritual, so why don't we just blunder in and go to save her? And if you step on here, perhaps unsurprisingly, the searchlight will detect you and the enemies will be immediately made aware of your presence. Fortunately, we have a way around this. It's not super beneficial to do this, but what the heck, I'll show it off anyways, just because, you know, it's a little bit of technique there. Seeing Ashley getting carted off is where the checkpoint activates there. We can actually shoot this searchlight, and it's the only one that we have to worry about. There we go. It's out of the picture. Now we can go around undetected, and we will just quickly take care of this guy right here. Oh my goodness, terrible luck. Ah, good. No. Okay. Yeah, we are back to Blade Plagas. I suppose at this point in development, they realized that, wait, these are more threatening than the Plagas we introduced in Act 2. Better bring these guys back. We can still encounter Spitters, but you will never see Biter Plagas ever again at this stage of the game. Going to want to take out my rifle here, and once we step forward... here is an individual that we've seen in the Mercenaries so far, but not in the main game. JJ, or possibly Hota Hota. It has never been particularly clear. This guy ups the technology that the Ganados are dealing with considerably by using a Gatling gun. Fortunately, we can stun him with headshots from the semi-auto rifle, so we just want to use this cover here and periodically pop out to hit him with headshots. We can also, if we want to get fancy, mix in some shots from the Blacktail, which is a little bit more ammo economical. We will have a capacity upgrade coming up for the rifle soon, so I may as well take advantage of that and not actually load in any of my bullets. We do have the final capacity upgrade coming up for the semi-auto rifle, so it'll be the last time we can exploit that fill-up trick for this gun. Do be careful once he does start firing. Actually, at this point, I can barely see the laser from that distance, so we are just going to take one more rifle shot, and that will get him out of the picture. Now, going forward, we're going to mostly stick to the Striker. The Striker will also have a bunch of capacity upgrades coming up for it here, so we can make pretty heavy use of this. Starting this area out, we immediately want to rush these stairs and hit this switch right here. We've got a little refractor puzzle to deal with. Not exactly the most complicated one, but we do need to guide that laser so it hits that light on the opposite side. We're going to let some of the enemies that are spawning in now come at us. Once you get into combat with JJ, you will have enemies dropping in to deal with you. Fortunately, they are not much of a match for the Striker here. Unfortunately, we do still have the rather annoying Blade Plagas to deal with. Be careful when an enemy's head explodes when they're right in your face. If they are in the middle of an action and a Blade Plaga spawns, they will commit to that action, so be mindful of that. There we go. Still got shield enemies to deal with, so that's not something that's going to change for the rest of the game. we will be seeing a slightly bigger variety of, shall we say, high-tech weapons, such as taser rods over there, stun batons, although funnily enough, the the Morning Stars deal considerably more damage, which, I mean, I guess makes sense. It's just funny. You'd think the newer and fancier weapon would be the more threatening thing to have to consider. Similar to Act 3-1 and 4-1, this first act, or this first chapter of Act 5, is quite long in comparison to what else is going to be thrown at us, so we will have quite the variety of set pieces to deal with as we go through here. Just going to use some blacktail shots to take these guys down. And why don't we get over this way? Be careful, though. Sometimes you can find yourself pincered. Note that these soldier ganados actually can still be suplexed, unlike the normal ganados, so that is still an option you have. It is not something you lose access to once you are done with the zealots. So I am glad that we can still tap into our wrestling skills. It's a nice little repertoire that Leon has at his disposal. With those guys dispatched, we can now get to work on refracting some of this laser. I don't know if that's the best way I could have put that, but it is the way that I put that. English skills are not my forte. What is my forte? Anyways, very basic refractor stuff. Push it into the other refractor, you're in like Flynn. We do have one more step in this process, though, so we'll just get to that in due time. These guys have about 18 to 20 hit points, so with the 3 firepower and the blacktail, it'll take about 6 shots to dispatch these guys. This is where the red 9 becomes pretty handy, because in this version of the game, 4 bullets will take the enemies out. In later releases, you can take out enemies in as little as 3 shots at this stage of the game with the red 9, so that's actually pretty considerable and much appreciated. Still got some crossbow guys to deal with, which honestly we should probably be thankful for. If we were dealing with enemies with actual guns, we might be in for a bit of pain. This game doesn't exactly do cover shooting very well. Which I'm sure has come up a couple times throughout this LP if you've been paying attention to my gameplay. Over here, some Magnum bullets, which not super useful for us right now since we just sold off our Magnum, but it will come in handy very, very shortly. For right now, let's refract the laser once more, get the door open, and we are ready to go on to the next stage here. It's at this point where if we were... just to mark where we were when I did that skip originally, we're about to catch up with where we ended up there. Sorry, JJ, but I do appreciate the 15k you gave me. It's going to be put to a good use, I promise you that much. How much handgun ammo do we have? We do have enough to dispatch a few more enemies. The Blacktail, again, does have quite a few efficiency problems when it comes to ammunition. Nice, some more shotgun shells. Gonna be needing plenty of those. Well, actually, not really, but whoop, there we go. Yeah, there comes the boulder. Conveniently, the wreckage does not actually bar our path. And you know what? I just realized I probably should be using my shotgun ammo more liberally. Obviously, we'll have upgrades coming up where I can get the capacity refills, but for a variety of reasons, it's probably not in my best interest to hold out for those. One thing to note is that the game becomes very, very generous with healing items at this point. We are going to be getting a ton of herbs. So look forward to that. And it is actually going to become necessary at points. Oh god, of course I completely whiffed there. Unfortunate, unfortunate, but these things happen sometimes. You need those moments to just make yourself look a little foolish, a little silly to keep things entertaining. Grab some more shotgun shells over here, and if you peek out this window, you'll see the crates over there, so if you miss them, there's your sign to go back and collect those sweet, sweet pesetas. Moving on to this ladder over here, we've got our transition into the next area. Alrighty, what do we got going on over here? Just one guy by his lonesome. May as well stick to the Blacktail to finish this guy off. The game becomes quite generous with the TMP ammo at this point, which is pretty funny, because we're actually very close to when I'm going to be selling the TMP off, but if you do want to make regular use of it, you will have ample opportunity to do so at this stage of the game, which is pretty appreciated in its own right. Taking this rifle ammo here, it is not just me being a hoarder conserving all this rifle ammo. It will actually come in handy. Note these boilers. Ow, you gotta be kidding me. That was ridiculous. Note these boiler suit guys. They have considerably more health than these soldiers. I guess these boiler suits are lead-lined. But yeah, you will need a lot more firepower to take these guys down than you would with the normal soldiers. Actually, rather unresilient, those soldiers. Alright, take this guy's pesetas here, load up our handgun. We're out of handgun ammo, so we are going to stick to the striker for right now. It is surprisingly easy to run out of handgun ammo at this stage of the game. Get another emerald over here, and if you make your way here, once again, we get another window which reveals potential treasures for us. So, what we need to do to get into that room is instead head over this way. Got a red herb over here, which is actually much appreciated. It can replace that one combination herb that I just used up. And if we turn back here, find an exploding barrel, TM, burst that wall open, and we are through. We seem to have stumbled upon an Indiana Jones trap set for somebody that isn't Leon, because we are over the more threatening part of it. Opening up this chest right here, we get the Golden Links. The Golden Links is our final combinatory treasure for the game, and besides the Golden Links in this chapter, we will get one item to slot into it, and then each chapter afterwards we'll get another item. There are 3 gems for it altogether, so by 5-3 we will have this Golden Links finished and ready to sell. For right now, though, we're just going to hold on to it. Note that we've got quite a few guys posted up top there. I'm going to rocket launcher guys over there, also. Be mindful of that. I don't have the range with my striker to hit that exploding barrel, which we want to hit that, so if I could just connect with that. Goodness gracious, all these explosions are really throwing me off. The game's frame rate is not appreciating these enemies here. I can't see the laser. There we go, got that guy. We probably want to use a few rifle shots here. I'm not exactly lighting the world on fire with my marksmanship right now. Unfortunately, missed that guy in the head, so we'll have to take another shot there. This guy has a full face mask, so he is immune to headshots, unfortunately. Just take him out with conventional body shots. This guy we will not take out with a headshot. Going to conserve my rifle ammo here, so we will just move on. We should be able to finish this guy off with a couple more shots to the body, yeah. Now, heading up this way is actually not necessary, but there's a couple of goodies for us to grab here, so we may as well do it. Here is where we want to switch to our striker. We'll be able to make very effective use of it here. Let's just send that guy to the ground. Ditto for that guy. The explosion from earlier has left him pretty weakened, so we don't have to worry about him putting up too much resistance afterward. Another boiler suit guy here, and he is just sent down. Over here we can find some shotgun shells and another green herb. Again, super generous with the healing items. We will have plenty to work with as we continue through the game here. We just want to make sure this guy is down before he has a chance to tail us. We will have some enemies coming up this way. I'm actually going to close in before that guy can potentially throw his axe at us. And we will just, once again, go to work with our striker here. Beautiful gun, beautiful gun. Really is satisfying to just knock these guys to the ground and absolutely empty shots into them. As you can see, another boiler suit guy just happened to drop behind us. He will be dispatched in much the same way. I'm not sure if the striker does have a higher crit rate. Let's, just for fun, send that wagon down. Anybody who gets caught in the path is not going to be having a very good day. Be mindful here. We still got some guys coming up behind us. Well, we had some guys coming up behind us. Then they decided to blow themselves up. Let's just hit the switch and continue on. Leave those guys to it. I'm not too pressed about whatever it is that they may be up to. See you guys. Continuing over this way, what we're going to want to do is hit up the merchant right here. We've got quite a few things that we actually want to do with this guy. First off, we'll of course liquidate our lesser treasures here. I actually will hang on to my incendiary grenade, since there is going to be one last situation where these grenades come in handy, so I will be hanging on to them just for that. We just got a spinel and a couple emeralds to sell. What we mainly want to focus on is, first off, the final batch of upgrades for the semi-auto rifle. We can custom tune this to get 15 firepower, 24 capacity, and finally, the exclusive upgrade for the semi-auto rifle. In the NTSC GameCube, or the NTSC American GameCube release of this game, this upgrade is stupid. Yes, the firing speed is now 0.40. That is the same firing speed as a fully upgraded Red 9. So we've got a semi-auto rifle that fires at the same speed as a handgun. It is absolutely ridiculous, super cracked. It is going to make the rifle so much more useful for the remainder of the game. Future releases would nerf this to a much more reasonable, but still effective, 0.80 instead. As far as new items go, we've got the treasure map for the island here, and we've also got a brand new Magnum at our disposal, the the Killer 7. Now, the Killer 7's deal over the Broken Butterfly is that it does not have the juicy 50 firepower exclusive that the Broken Butterfly does, but it scales better than the Broken Butterfly, and it will be at its maximum capabilities just in time for the situation where I would really like it to be that powerful. So we will be taking that, plus it's just a fun weapon to show off. I'm actually a bit of a fan of the Killer 7. I enjoy using it. It is also, of course, a direct reference to a famous Suda51 game. Killer 7, wonderful game for the GameCube. I actually do have a physical copy for that game. I will be selling my TMP to get upgrades for both the Killer 7 and the Striker, but we'll hang on to it for right now because there's just one last situation where it is very effective. We have just enough money left over to buy one more firepower upgrade for the Striker, and the next set of upgrades for it will actually become available at the next merchant, which we are going to be seeing very, very soon, funnily enough. Alright, with that taken care of, let's bust out our new rifle here. Now we have no more capacity upgrades to rely on to get more ammo for it. I just want to check behind me real quick. Sometimes enemies can be tailing you from behind, and it can be very unfortunate if you lose track of them. As you can see, the rifle is very, very broken right now. We can just slam fire like crazy with this now and absolutely obliterate anyone who is standing in front of us. It is a wonderful thing to see. I am very, very glad to have this, and it is going to be even more useful than you might expect coming up soon. Alright, with the exterior of the military base completed, now time for the interior. Inside here, we've got a locker with some pesetas, which we will need a lot of money to afford the remaining upgrades in the game, so any bit of money I can scrounge up will be much appreciated. Let's see, lock from the other side. As we can see, there is quite a bit beyond this door, including a save point for us. We'll have to keep in mind where we can open this up from the other side when we get there. Would be convenient to have several ways to get back through this area. Heading into here, I'm just going to whip out the Striker real quick. Kick through this door, and send this guy down. And yeah, you know what, put an extra shot in his head. Oh, goodness gracious, there we go. Yeah, like I said earlier, I'm not sure if the Striker just has a naturally high crit rate, or if it is just a property of weapons with high firepower that they just critical more often. Gotta consolidate my herbs here, because we really don't need that many singular green herbs kicking around. We're going to be finding so many more throughout our journey here. Get some shotgun shells there. Heading into this room... I don't know why, I'm just feeling a little nervous all of a sudden, like something could pop out at any moment. I'm just being paranoid here. Let's soldier on real quick. Whoa! Did it get you? Yeah, this is Oven Man. Huh. What is he doing in here? Good question, good question. Fun fact about Oven Man, in future releases of the game, in fact, I believe starting with Biohazard 4 for the GameCube, you can actually shoot him before he falls over from his burns, and that can cause him to drop an item, which is pretty funny. We also get an insight to Leon's rather skewed priorities here. This meat's rotten, but I sure could use a fat, juicy steak right about now. To be honest with you, Leon, I feel like the stench from that would make me not think about delicious food at all. I would probably have not much of an appetite. Over here, if we search in this dirty sink, for some reason there's a hand grenade. I have sweeped all over this sink, and I have no idea where that is placed except within the sink itself. Once again, waterlogged ammunition. Not really sure if it's that effective, but whatever. On a gameplay level, it really does not matter to us that much, I suppose. Continuing into here. Hey! Once again, I recognize that voice. Got a pretty cool enemy type over here. The Large Hammer Individuals. I guess that's their official title. These guys have armor on their bodies, so you have to be very particular about where you shoot them if you want to actually impede them at all. Let me see here. How many flash grenades do I have? I'm actually going to utilize a flash grenade here to just impede these guys a little bit. We will use that to keep these guys from actually getting any shots on us. And we will use the Killer 7 for the first time. We will get a capacity upgrade for this in the near future, so I may as well have some fun with it, right? Use that to send that guy down. We'll just hit this guy. Oh my god, hit this guy with a body shot. That was embarrassing. Let's take out these guys real quick. Ah, of course, a spitter. That's okay. We can I really want to hit this guy with a body shot right away. Send him to the ground like so. Okay, that's looking good. That's looking good. and that one's gonna pop back out, so let's just use our handgun to finish this guy off. Not the most efficient use of Magnum ammo I've ever had, but again, we're going to have capacity upgrades for it soon, so I will get those rounds back in due time, The Killer 7, once we get all of the capacity upgrades for its ammunition, it's going to total out to, let me see here, I want to say it is 31 Magnum rounds altogether, so a pretty good deal, all things considered. Get another yellow herb there. The game also becomes much more generous with yellow herbs at this point, so it's very easy to max out Leon's HP at this stage. Also get the Red Stone of Faith. This is our very first treasure that combines into the Golden Links, so we will just slot that in real quick. 2 more to go, and remember, the remaining treasures to combine with it will come in succeeding chapters. Alright, where are you, Ashley? Let's grab this handgun ammo right here, and...
Ashley. Amateurs. Just hang in there, Ashley. I'm coming for you.
So, fun fact, the German version of this game, not the Austrian version, which is actually the version German fans of Resident Evil 4 generally prefer to play, precisely because of this reason, the German version of Resident Evil 4 is heavily censored in terms of the violent content present in the game, and that cutscene specifically was also deemed to be too sexual, I guess, so it was heavily truncated in the German release, which is just one of those funny little extra tidbits you might not be aware of. Alrighty, let me see, anything else for us to grab in here besides those pesetas? I don't believe so, so we will continue on into this next area here. Continuing into here, there will be quite a few things for us to take note of. First off, we will have another merchant lying in wait for us over here, plus some extra rifle ammo. Game's being oddly generous with the rifle ammo right now. I wonder why. Well, regardless, another merchant over here, and this guy actually has another update to his inventory list, even though we just encountered one a few seconds ago. He sells the Tactical Vest. Now, this is an item in future releases of the game you can't actually purchase in professional mode. In the original GameCube release, though, the American GameCube release, it is still available to purchase on professional mode, and as you can see, it reduces damage you take by 30%. To keep this comparable to a run on the HD version, we won't be buying the Tactical Vest, but you do still have it as an option in professional mode in this version. Incidentally, I mentioned how we would be able to get more upgrades for the Striker soon, and indeed, the final selection of upgrades is available for the Striker. Let me see, did we grab any other notable treasure? We did grab 1 emerald, so, oh no we didn't. Never mind. Yeah, we don't really have anything to sell at this point. However, that's not really that big a deal, because right off to the side of the merchant, we do in fact have the final shooting range of the game. The Type D course is available for us here, so same as the previous course, I'm going to take the rapid fire weapons to start, just so I can get the all targets achievement. Then we will switch over to the sniping kit so I can use the handgun for a bit more reliability. Sadly, the background for this final shooting range is still the castle, and I believe all successive shooting ranges, because while the game type D is the final shooting range you can play, or shooting range game type you can play, there are a couple more shooting ranges that come up throughout the rest of the game, or at least one later on. Anyway, as you can see, the castle pretty quickly leaves anyway, so for this first one, we're just going to focus on shooting all the targets right away. Not even going to bother with any headshots, because it just increases the chance that I'll miss. Note that some of these guys are only up for a very, very short amount of time. What the hell, we'll take a shot on the Salazar head. And yeah, we are still getting Salazar heads for these courses here. It's a little bit disappointing. I would have liked to see something. Oh no! So yeah, if you hit an Ashley target, your run is immediately void as far as getting the hitting all targets bottle cap. So unfortunately, we have to start over, and that's why I try to stick to the sniping guns at this point, because the kick from the TMP can make that distance shooting a little bit difficult to hit. We'll just hit the Salazar there, not so much to actually get any points, just to speed up the game. It's a good idea to go all the way to the corner here to make sure the muzzle kick does not actually result in Ashley getting picked off there. Let me see here. Fortunately, these guys move quite slow. I kind of wish there was a timer that told you how much each target was still going to be up for. One of the more annoying things about the shooting range. Oh, get those guys. Get you. Okay, that should have been all targets. There we go. So, now I will switch over to the sniping kit, and I'll cut ahead to when we get to the harder half of the Course D. Alright, we're on to the final run of Course D, and this one is a little tricky, although funnily enough, I just barely clutched out a winning run of this one. Starting off here, there is actually a target behind the Ashley in the center there. You don't get much time to hit it, and I missed it, but remember, that doesn't actually break our ongoing combo, so with that fifth guy taken down there, Salazar will still show up, thankfully. I'm actually going to stick to this side right here. As you can see, these guys move quite fast. I can use this opportunity to get back to the center, and hit Salazar, hopefully. There we go. Alright, that's actually pretty good. I don't even care that that guy hit the end of his track there. Remember, that doesn't really interfere with our combo at all. Let me see. That does interfere with our combo. Fortunately, we can let these guys get quite close to take the shots at them, guaranteeing a couple of headshots there. Another unfortunate miss, but not a big deal. With the two guys that we hit at the start, we should be good. As you can probably just barely see, another guy hiding behind Ashley like she's some kind of human shield, which probably the intent there. Anyways, we'll probably just stick here and take out these last batch of guys. Fortunately, this one appeared right in front of me, out of bullets here, so let's just get back to the center. Oh, you know, if it's gonna stay up, why not? Why not? Pretty good score that we're actually managing here. I'm going to take that guy down just so I can actually see the Salazar. Could not hit it, but we got 1,500 points from the Salazar as alone. 3,700, even if I missed a couple targets, that's perfectly fine. That is the shooting range completed.
Welcome.
We will end our game here and get our last set of bottle caps. And for that, a cool 50,000 pesetas, which is pretty nice because we have some upgrades that we need to purchase. In particular, I can buy a capacity upgrade for the striker right there. But let's take a quick look at our brand new bottle caps because, well, we worked hard for them. Let's check them out. Examining the bottle cap collection right here, we have some of the soldier type enemies. Makes me laugh, makes me laugh. Oof, guttural. Here we got the hammer guy. I like this guy's design. Not exactly loquacious, though. And over here, we finally get the proper names for the Bella sisters. We got Isabel over here. I'm right here, Why do you ask? And we've got Maria. Finally, we've got JJ, aka Hota Hota. I'm not really sure, but regardless. Classic, classic. If you've been watching the Mercenaries gameplay, you've heard that a lot. To be certain, to be certain. Anyway, let's pop on out of here, and let's buy a capacity upgrade for our striker. I'm not in a hurry to buy upgrades for the Killer 7, because we don't really need to use it just this moment. And besides, most of the money I can funnel into it is going to be coming from the TMP sale. Let's get a capacity upgrade right here, and unfortunately, just barely do we miss the threshold to get the firepower upgrade. So we're going to have to pass on that for right now, but why don't we buy a reload speed upgrade for our Killer 7 while we're at it. I would like the firepower upgrade, but we're just not able to afford it right now. Don't worry, don't worry. We're going to have plenty of money coming our way. Grabbing some more shotgun shells over here. If we check in these mailboxes or these filing cabinets real quick. Oh god, oh god. Bunch of guys, right here, right here. There is a shutter over there, and a bunch of guys with dynamite will take their chance to throw some of it at you, which we can blow up on them when they attempt to toss it. Our best bet for dealing with these guys is actually the rifle. As long as we stand by this window right here, we should be safe from their dynamite. So let's just take that rifle shot there. Because we have the highly improved fire speed now, we can land shots much, much more quickly. As a matter of fact, it's a good idea to go for a body shot. To set that guy up for a headshot, except that he's wearing a full face mask, so that kind of stymies our ability to take him out with simple headshots. He is immune to such plebeian things. Now, that is not the last of the enemies from the shutter there. Oh, these guys got knocked down by the dynamite. Well, that simplifies this considerably. That doesn't normally happen. Normally, these guys are just ready to shoot on you. Now, with those guys taken care of, the shutter will stay open. Be careful, though. There is one guy lurking around here. You can probably hear his steps. He's somewhere around this pillar. He's probably coming this way. I hear you. I know you're there. There you are. Trying to get the drop on me there, but you're not exactly moving with cat-like tread, my friend. Inside here, we can find an emergency cabinet with some TMP ammo. Again, the game becomes shockingly generous with it at this point, so if you've been committed to it, you are able to make very, very good use of it at this stage of the game. Let's get this, I need to give this place, or give this inventory a massive cleanup at some point, but that is not for right now. Oh, goodness gracious. Try and do, there we go. Just gotta rotate things until eventually we can find a place to plop that down. As a matter of fact, I can free up some inventory space by loading my handgun here real quick. I have way too much ammo. I should probably be using my guns more liberally. As a matter of fact, we can clear out one of our rifle ammo packs by loading it into the semi-auto real quick. Probably would be a good idea to do so. Heading into this area and, oof. Suddenly, the game became really atmospheric. This place is kind of creepy, honestly, just from the noise alone. And it's at this point that Resident Evil 4 takes the opportunity to remember that it's supposed to be a horror game for a little bit. And this is one of the more famous instances of the game flexing its horror chops. Just you wait, just you wait. Over here is the door that we passed by previously, so you can get back to the earlier area through that door if you are so inclined. As you saw there, we got the second copy of the brass pocket watch, so we have another treasure to liquidate next time we have an opportunity to talk to the merchant. Now, heading that way would be the operating room, but we don't want to check that out just yet. Be nothing but a whole bunch of, well, actually no, yeah, we do want to go to the operating room. Getting my directions backwards here, trying to misdirect you real quick. Just a little bit of confusion. Get an incendiary grenade right here, which, believe it or not, is going to come in handy. Heading over this way, there is a crate we really want to break with some Magnum ammo in it. We are going to need plenty of Magnum ammo for later. The capacity upgrades for the Killer 7 alone are not going to carry us through this situation. Heading into this room. It's a little frigid in here, honestly. Any goodie... What in God's name is that? Ooh, boy. Well, whatever that is, I hope it stays in there. I would rather not deal with it. We're gonna have to deal with it, aren't we? Well, we'll get to that when we get to that. I'm just double-checking here to make sure there's nothing I'm missing. Some kind of research equipment. Wonder what it's used for. Research, presumably. I know, you mean what kind of research specifically. Anyways, as is typical for locks in the Resident Evil universe, we have a weird color puzzle to solve here. We just have to rotate the arrows until eventually we form a path, and we can do so in the manner seen here. Not one of the more complicated door puzzles they've ever thrown at us in this series. Heading over this way, Luis's memo number 3. The hideous creatures such as El Gigante and Novistadors are merely byproducts of the diabolical and inhumane experiments conducted on the specimens that were once human. But there's one type of creature that clearly distinguishes itself from the rest. These creatures are called Regenerators. Regenerators have superior metabolism that allows them to regenerate their lost body parts at incredible speeds. I've never seen anything like it. It's this characteristic that makes them almost invincible to conventional weapons. But like any living creature, there is a way to kill it. Apparently there are plagas that live in its body, somewhat like leeches. To stop its regeneration process, these leech-like plagas must be located and then destroyed. But they can't be seen with the naked eye. They can only be located through thermal imaging. As far as I know, most Regenerators host a number of these leech-like plagas. To kill the Regenerators, each one of these leech-like plagas must be killed. Now, there is actually a bit of misinformation going on with Luis's memo here, but we'll get back to that in a second. What we really want to do right now is get an incendiary grenade at the ready, grab this TMP ammo here, which is going to be quite handy, and... goodness gracious, what kind of experiments were going on around here? Checking over here, we can find a keycard. Were you to go in the direction I was originally heading, you would find some doors that were locked with a keycard scanner, so we would need this to get forward. Now, once you grab that... Hello, back off, buddy. We've got the Regenerators here. As the name implies, any limbs destroyed on the Regenerator will, well, regenerate. And also, they are extremely resilient to gunfire. but not immune. What do I mean by that? Well, if we just throw this guy to the ground, and then go to work on his ass with a TMP, we can just lock this guy in place and just watch as he writhes around, and eventually... Yes, contrary to popular belief, the Regenerators can be defeated with normal gunfire. You do not need the special item that is intended to be used to defeat them more easily. Though obviously we will be grabbing and demonstrating that item. Over here we can grab an emerald in here, very quick, and it's a good idea to make sure to pop in here to grab that. Every little bit of money helps. Upgrades are expensive. And heading out into this way, you will immediately notice that things are a little wrong out here. Yep, that breathing is a sign as clear as day. We've got Regenerators lying in wait out here. Now, just so they get a chance to show off their signature property, why don't we just blast these guys with something that is guaranteed to put them in a state of regeneration. So, we'll just get rid of your head real quick, my friend. Let you deal with that real quick. And yeah, as you can see, once you leave them to their own devices, the Plagas will quickly get to work repairing them. Let's just see him regenerate real quick. Come on, show me that signature regeneration ability. Be very careful. When these guys get close, they will be eager to reach out to you. There we go. Now we can stun him down with the incendiary grenade, and once again, get to work with the TMP. This is the last thing I want the TMP for. Do not assume these guys are helpless if their leg has been destroyed. They have incredibly powerful upper body strength, and they will leap at you and put you into a grab if you knock them down. So do not assume that you are safe there. That is not the only Regenerator that is waiting for us out in this hallway, so we better move quickly and get into this area. It is locked with a keycard, but fortunately, we just so happen to have a keycard. Seems to be some kind of freezer. Heading into said freezer, there are a couple of key points of interest to hit up. First off, rifle ammo here. Again, the game is being awfully generous with the rifle ammo. Over here, if we check this device right here, this must be a card key rewriter. Maybe I can rewrite the data on my card key and turn it into another card key. And indeed, we need to do so. If we slot our card key in here, it'll be rewritten into a waste disposal card key. Take that along with us. Over here, we can lower the temperature of this cryogenic suspension area, thus freeing up that case over there to be opened. What can we find in that case? As a matter of fact, I want to just make sure I have a, let's see, 1x4 space open to actually slot an item into, which might be easier said than done. There we go, that should work. Once we cool this area off, real quick, actually, I'm going to wait on that. We can check it out over here, slide this open, and find an infrared scope. This infrared scope is our ticket for easily defeating the Regenerators. So once you grab it, very conveniently, one pops out. You very quickly want to get the heck out of this small room, otherwise this guy will trap you in an instant. The door has locked behind us. You can either run circles around this guy to avoid him, or you can just take him out, at which point the door will immediately open. We have just equipped the infrared scope on our rifle, and sure enough, we can get the thermal readings of the parasites within the Regenerator, and this is how you are intended to defeat these guys. Note that the Regenerators on professional mode, let's just shoot this guy's leg out real quick, will always have a Plagas on their back, so be sure to be mindful of that. Now, what I did there was actually a bit overkill, pretty unnecessary, as a matter of fact, because when you destroy one of the Regenerator's internal parasites, that actually deals a percentage of their HP and damage. Each parasite is worth about 20 to 25% of their HP, so it's actually a lot easier most of the time to just take out the parasites on the front of their body, and then just empty more shots into the body until eventually they explode. It should only take you about 5 shots if everything lands perfectly, 6 shots if you happen to miss hitting one of the parasites initially, or heck, you can just slam fire the rifle to take them out if you're so inclined. It doesn't really matter. Got another guy waiting out in the corner here. This will be the last one of these guys we encounter for about 5 minutes. We'll get him taken care of real quick, get all those parasites destroyed, and like I said, we can just shoot into the front of the body, take him out real quick there. Yeah, it's a lot easier to deal with these guys when you know you don't actually have to muck around with the rear parasite. You can just shoot them from the front, and it's all good. No need to worry, no need to worry. Grabbing 5,000 pesetas here. Gotta say, this chapter is proving to be quite the lengthy one. Let us insert the waste disposal key here. Leon helpfully letting us know that this area smells like garbage, if you were already unwise to what this place was. Heading into the waste disposal area, once again we got some more TMP ammo over here. Honestly, I may actually just use the TMP for the hell of it at this point. I'm going to be selling it off soon anyway, so why not give it one last hurrah? Alright, it's already fully loaded. Another hand grenade over here, which I'm probably going to sell most grenades we get at this point. There is one useful thing we could use them for. I do really need to clear up some inventory space, though. This is getting ridiculous. Look at all this stuff. It's very easy to find yourself over-encumbered. Note that there is almost no handgun ammo in there. In fact, there is no handgun ammo in there. Over here, we've got a crane. Levers are for operating the overhead crane. Operate it, obviously. Let's see if we can't grab one of these guys here. They're not going to be super keen to what's going on. Not exactly aware of our treachery here. We are just going to let that guy get dropped down. Unfortunately, you can only grab one of the guys with the crane. However, using the crane at all will send these guys into cover, so we can use that opportunity to just take them out while they are cowering in fear. In particular, that's very handy for dealing with this crossbow guy. We don't have to worry about him causing us any problems while we're trying to deal with his friends. Speaking of his friends, we'll just quickly TMP them out of the way. There we go. You guys gonna drop any money for me? It's a waste dump. Maybe it leads to the lower levels? Something to keep in mind for later. Inside this dumpster right here, you can find another emerald. Very easy to miss one. Yet another green herb here. We are just so overloaded with these. Look at all this stuff. I need to load up my TMP ammo just to create inventory space. It's ridiculous. Yeah, you are absolutely drowning in ammunition by the end of the original GameCube release of Resident Evil 4. They are just way too generous with it. I mean, I guess I appreciate it, but like, look at this. I can't even take this shotgun ammo. I'm just gonna combine it with this box and then throw it away. I mean, what am I even gonna do with this junk? Look at all this. Got a yellow herb over here, which we did just get a green herb that I can't combine it with, so we will just put it into another one of our red herbs. Actually, you know what? Screw it. Let's just, to create more inventory space, let's just, toke up real quick. Oof. Leon is blunted out of his mind right now. Got a button over here. Security switch for the door on the left, but we have no reason to interface with the security to our left. Over in here, we get a flash grenade, which we are going to need plenty of these for the next chapter, so I'm very appreciative that the game is throwing these at me. Moving on into this area, and yeah, we've got a lot of screen transitions here. For once, I actually want to get out the striker real quick. We will make our way over here, grab some handgun ammo, which we are actually kind of in desperate need of. I mean, we're never in desperate need of handgun ammo in totality. We've got so much shotgun and rifle ammo, but you know what I mean. We don't have much handgun ammo. We are just going to take these guys out. Note that the hammer guys can actually spawn Plagas, but they do it very rarely. Ashley, I'm right here. Unfortunately, the door is locked, so we will need a key. Thankfully, Ashley sees that we're getting to it. We're working on it, so just be patient, Ashley. Alright. Let's get back focused here. And also, let's get back to burning through some of our TMP ammo. Better to use it than to lose it, right? Because we are going to be losing it soon. Oh my goodness, dude! We're just gonna leave it here. Once we're on our way back, then I can grab it. We've got a lot of enemies to deal with in here, so get to work on dispatching them immediately. Fortunately, our TMP creates quite a nice wall here. Wall of fire that just stops these guys from really accomplishing anything against us. Let's get all our TMP ammo loaded into the gun itself. Whoa! Ah, God! That guy was rushing up faster than I was expecting. We will just take this guy out. Ah, God, can this Plagas die? I'll admit, I got a little overeager in jumping in this room, but I just want to clear out some of this ammunition. It's ridiculous. Okay, we're finally out of TMP ammo. May as well switch over to the striker here and try to clear some of that out. I mean, we do have a capacity upgrade we could purchase, but I'd rather just clear up some space here. We are in desperate need of it. There we go. Yeah, terrible problem to have, right? Too much ammo. Goodness. Just waiting for the Plagas. Speaking of too much ammo, more rifle ammo. I would make more use of the rifle here, but this is actually a pretty bad section of the game to try and use it. You can pretty quickly find yourself overwhelmed in close quarters. Oh no, and we're almost out of space for magnum ammo as well. Fortunately, we will have a chance to clear out some of this, all of this junk that we have. We just need a little bit more, or a little bit more time. Moving over this way. As a matter of fact, inside here you will find a save point, but we're just going to continue on here. We'll grab the items on the return trip because we will have more inventory space at that point. As a matter of fact, I might even sell off some of my shotgun ammo because I'm really not... I'm going to sell off all my shotgun ammo now that I think about it because we're really not going to need it for reasons I'll get into in a second. Moving on this way. I'll always remember this little cutscene right here. This cutscene was very prominent in the original commercial that you'd see on TV for the PS2 version. Unfortunately, not able to grab that rifle ammo right now. Give me a second here. We've got the Iron Maiden, an even more dangerous version of the Regenerator that we dispatch in much the same way. These guys will always have 5 parasites on professional mode, and on normal mode, while they still have 4, they only have 4 parasites, they always have 1 in their backside. Fortunately, we don't even have to contend with that. We can just shoot them from the front once we take out all the parasites, and we will be good to go there. This guy actually has something critical, the storage room card key. This is what we need to spring Ashley. There is a bunch of stuff to grab here, but we are going to try and clear up some inventory space real quick, because we desperately need to do so. Heading out onto this bridge right here, this is actually a completely optional area. You do not have to go here to progress the chapter. What we're going to do right now, we've finally gotten to past the point, or the last point, I really wanted to have the TMP for, so we can just sell that off right now for a whole bunch of money. That's mostly going to go into Killer 7 upgrades. Of course, we also don't need the stock.
Thank you.
Because of certain upgrades that are going to become available for the Striker, we're just going to sell all our shotgun shells right here. We do not need that many shotgun shells. It is a ridiculous amount, so I'm just going to get rid of them right now. Anything else I'd like to sell? Obviously, I'd like to sell my treasures real quick. Not going to be bought at a high price, but that's okay. It's high enough. It's high enough. So the reason I was selling all my shotgun ammo there is because the next batch of upgrades we can get for the Striker will unlock its exclusive. This will increase the capacity to 100, which of course gives us 100 shotgun shells instantly. A wonderful amount to pick up all at once. And that's why I opted to sell all my ammunition. Obviously, we've also already got the 28 shotgun shells we got from the previous capacity upgrade in general. We're also going to upgrade our Killer 7 here, get the capacity boosted while we're at it, and that still leaves us with enough money that next time we come back through, we can get the, or next time we encounter the merchant, we can get the next capacity upgrade for the Killer 7, no problem. That yellow herb is actually going to be utilized very, very soon. To finish up our business on this area, well, business, quote-unquote, like I said, nothing we have to do here is actually necessary. We're going to grab another couple items, like a green herb here. Again, game is very, very generous with healing items at this point. Boost our health a little bit. Maybe I could have saved that for Ashley, but we'll have more opportunities to boost her health up in the near future. And we are going to check out this radio tower real quick for a little bonus cutscene.
This is Leon. Request backup. I repeat, request backup.
Ah, man, we haven't been able to talk to Hunnigan since the beginning of Chapter 3. It's ridiculous. Anyways, we were drowning in shotgun ammo previously. Time to get to back to work on that. With that all said and done, we can now make our way back to Ashley and finally free her from her cell. We can also take this opportunity to grab the items that I passed up on in the previous couple areas, since I just did not have the space for them. Now we do have the space, so I'm appreciative of that. We were doing good here. We're doing good. See ya, merchant. We'll come back to you later. I mean, I'm assuming every single one of you would come across the same guy. Unless it's another, like, Officer Jenny Nurse Joy situation, like with Dr. Salvador. Heading into this lab here, there's a couple of slabs we can open up. More rifle ammo. Again, they want to make sure that you have enough to deal with the regenerators here. This slab, unfortunately, cannot be opened. But if we break open these petri dishes here, one of them will have an emerald for us. This looks like living tissue, but from what? A variety of things based on the kind of creatures we've been seeing throughout this point. Inside these little chemical storage units. We can find some more herbs. Oh my god, we are just drowning in healing items too. I was honestly tempted to sell some of my healing items also. We are just overloaded. I can't believe how much stuff Leon is carrying now. His gains must be ridiculous. Heading over here, there's one last case we can open up for more rifle ammo. Again, they are making absolutely sure you have all the rifle ammo you need to defeat every regenerator you come across without too much issue. Anything in this one? No. Okay. So we still have the infrared scope equipped. We're just going to remove that real quick because I will actually just be using the rifle for conventional purposes coming up in a second here. I did mention earlier that Resident Evil 4 doesn't exactly do cover shooting very well. Also in here, another green herb, just in case we needed another million of them. But there are a couple opportunities to demonstrate it. So if we kick this door open and just nudge out slightly, we will find that some new enemies have spawned here. We will just take this opportunity to slam fire with the rifle. Make sure that nobody is closing in on you directly. Sometimes these guys can rush you and cause a little bit of a headache for you. There we go. Awesome. Nice. Beautiful stuff. These Plagas are no match for the 100% critical hit rate of the rifle, and that also allows us to consolidate a little bit more inventory space. Don't get too careless with your rifle, though. You can burn through this ammo surprisingly quickly. Remember, each pack is only 10 shells, so that goes by fast. Do not be so eager to use it at all opportunities. That shotgun ammo I passed up, and after a fairly lengthy chapter, especially in real time, we managed to cut off a couple times because I cut off a few minutes because I took care of most of the shooting gallery off screen. We are just about done with this chapter. Heading into the storage room here, we just need to use our storage room card key. Sadly, could not find another rewriter for our previous card key. We just had to get a new one wholesale. Round this corner.
Leon!
You okay? Come on, let's get out of here.
Slightly less heartfelt reunion that time. Didn't even get a hug out of that one. What the heck is that in the preview thumbnail? Well, we'll find out next time. Woof! Quite a start to this act. This is the longest chapter of Act 5 by far, though. The rest of the chapters aren't going to be nearly as lengthy. And we've actually come far enough that we are wrapping around to my saves from the beginning of the LP. Crazy, crazy. But yeah, we are rapidly approaching the conclusion of Resident Evil 4. And there are some pretty hype moments left to be had here, so look forward to it. As always, I hope you enjoyed watching, and I hope to see you in the next video. Until then, though, goodbye.
I don't dispute the doubts you've outlined, but it's my right to waste your time.